I've watched so many paranormal investigations, I feel like I could run my own. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and today we're counting down our list of the top 10 paranormal investigators with stories scarier than Ed and Lorraine Warren. Coming in at number 10 is Sam and Colby. Paranormal YouTubers Sam and Colby visited the ship Queen Mary and spoke with real demons that night. The most notorious location on the ship for paranormal activity is room B340, and that's where the pair stayed. Reports claimed someone knocks on the door in the middle of the night, bathroom lights turning on by themselves, the sink faucet turning on and off on its own, and unexplained bathroom doors shutting. Some guests have reported the covers of their bed being pulled off while asleep and waking to see a dark figure standing at the foot of the bed. Now when Sam and Colby were there, they communicated with some sort of demon through knocks, and they got it all on camera. The audio of the video truly gives me chills, being no and 2 knocks being yes. It's cool and creepy, but when questions about religion, heaven, and hell are asked, the boys pack it up and leave as things go too far. At one point it appears that Sam is in a trance-like state, which they believe was the demon trying to pull energy from him. It's so creepy and one of their scariest videos in my opinion. Oh, and Sam, Colby, if you're watching this, hi, I love you guys. Number 9. Shane and Ryan. The house is supposed to be haunted not only by the 3 people who have died inside it, but also by a demon who takes the form of a young girl named Sally. Now the landlord of the Sally house revealed that previous tenants had been Satanists, sacrificing animals and holding rituals in the basement, where a large pentagram was burned into the floor. Now it's believed that this activity summoned more demons, of which some apparently reside in the large hole in the back of the basement wall. Ryan and Shane invited Eric Ensbrenner, a paranormal investigator, into the house. The 3 set up the stuffed animals in the nursery into a circle with the maglite flashlight on, set to between on and off, and call for Sally. With no result, they moved to the kitchen, setting up the flashlight the same way and asking for any demons to turn on the light. The flashlight turned on when Shane says, "If you don't like us, turn it on," and it turns off when Eric asks them to. They then move to the basement and set up another flashlight, also set between on and off. Shane then lies down on the pentagram, asking the demons to turn the light on, which it does. Yeah, how did they not leave immediately? Ugh. Number 8. Seth Borden. Paranormal YouTuber Seth Borden posted a video detailing his experience in Edinburgh's underground vaults, claiming he was targeted by a ghost. The footage starts off normal enough, and they're soon taken deeper into the chambers and shown areas such as coven meeting spots. After the tour guide warns the group of people's changes in behavior in the vaults, Seth said he heard a voice. Then one of the cameramen soon notices his camera is beginning to malfunction, and more equipment begins to stop working, with lights failing to switch on and cameras continuing to act strangely. The group asks any spirits to come forward before they all hear footsteps. Seeking to speak with the Watcher, they ask him if the noises are him. The Watcher is supposedly a ghost who gets a bit sick of strangers intruding in his space and may have been a guard or thief in the 18th century. "Rattle the gates, throw something if we're intruding, do what you normally do, chase us out," they say. While he doesn't respond in real time, the group replay a recording where a voice seems to reply, "Get out." Then they all move on to a final room and ask the ghost to enter the middle of the room. Seth finally feels the need to leave, claiming to have a pounding chest and a wave of nausea. Back under normal lighting, they realize when the cameramen have a scratch on his face. Yeah, that's a no for me. Number 7. Kalani Smith and Exploring with Josh. Professional ghost hunter Kalani Smith and Canadian YouTuber known as Exploring with Josh performed a blood ritual sacrifice to the terrifying Robert the Doll. Now Robert lives in a museum in Key West, Florida, and the doll, a boy dressed in a sailor suit holding a small dog, it's said to have been gifted to a boy who grew to be an eccentric artist. Robert allegedly has supernatural abilities that allow him to move and giggle. The doll is rumored to curse people who film or video him without permission, and we didn't ask, we didn't pick him up, and he stayed in his case while we were outside the room, but once we unveiled him, an electric and heavy feeling filled the air, Kalani said of the experience. We got some voices that came through our voice recorder and equipment going off in the chamber, which said it wanted us to stay. Now many of the people that have come in here and looked into Robert's eyes have experienced car troubles, marriage troubles, and some people have even gotten cancer. Now Josh posted an hour-long haunting YouTube video about their experience that showed the pair's blood offering to Robert. Now things quickly turned negative. We got attacked after the blood ritual was performed and felt like we caught on fire. It got insanely hot and then we both ended up throwing up. Josh films himself struggling to breathe before almost throwing up, and he claimed that since shooting the clip, he has suffered bad luck that included a canceled flight, lost baggage, and inflammation and pain in his eye. He said he apologized to Robert and planned to undergo a cleanse as he can't take this anymore. Number 6. Ghost Hunters. The team headed to Bacon's Castle in Surrey County, Virginia, where people have reported seeing ghostly orbs for decades. Not only that, but there are spectral fireballs, floating heads, disembodied voices, all of which have been seen and heard at the estate. Now, one of the creepiest things seen at the castle is the disembodied head of an African American woman. During colonial times, the property lodged as many as 300 slaves. Now, things are also known to move on their own, chairs rock, books fly off the shelves, doors close all by themselves. And now when the team went here, as Steve walked through the house, he stopped to read some writing on the wall. As he reads it aloud, he starts hearing a sad moaning coming from the other room. Now the sobbing only gets louder as they look for the source, which is terrifying. Number 5. Celina Spooky Boo. Celina Spooky Boo is a self-proclaimed psychic who has been able to see ghosts her entire life. She goes on adventures to haunted places, but she also sleepwalks and uploads the footage online. She has written 3 paranormal books, and she claimed in a 2022 video that she isn't talking to herself when she's sleepwalking, that she's communicating with the dead. I was recently in Salem and a psychic told me I'm clairvoyant, she explained. And when I'm sleepwalking, I'm not actually talking in my dreams, I'm talking to ghosts. Keep that in mind. The clip then cuts to black and white footage of her sitting in an office chair in her nightgown having a series of odd conversations. Were the 70s sick? She asked, and in the comments she noted that her house was built in the 70s. A number of viewers pointed out the ghost orbs they saw in the video, including one that flew past the screen right before she raised an imaginary weapon. She was standing and appeared to be having a heated conversation when she said, "Well, I'm not telling her, you tell her." She then held up her middle finger to flip off the ghost she was allegedly arguing with. Now shout out to Celina and Taylor, but that is so creepy, and I've never heard of someone sleepwalking and talking being related to ghosts, and it's all very interesting to me. Number 4. Most Haunted. One of the most famous hauntings of the Wentworth Woodhouse is the first Earl of the house walking down the main stairs of the house. Only he's headless, and the Most Haunted crew captured footage of him. Carl Beatty, who was filming, said, "We've never seen anything like this before, and we really don't have an explanation for what we saw. The replay of the filming clearly shows the vision in detail. It's a weird, weird place. There's a ghost there that stands still during his hauntings, leading many people to think he's a statue, and with shadows tracing the walls and dark figures standing in the doorways, the Most Haunted team were certainly not alone. They heard footsteps, ghostly laughter, opera singing, whistling, and door rattling sounds as if being opened, only it wasn't, as it was locked and did not have a handle." Number 3. Jayne Harris. Warning: looking into these dolls' eyes can cause you to have health issues or even get haunted. Please watch at your own risk. Peggy the doll is a 3-foot tall doll that has a blonde hair bob with glassy blue eyes, and it's considered to be the most haunted and dangerous doll in the world. After purchasing the doll at a car boot sale, the owner began having nightmares and felt that she was being haunted by the doll. She contacted Jayne Harris, a paranormal and haunted doll investigator, and eventually sent the doll to her. Jayne and her team of psychics began working with the doll, running experiments or having paranormal sessions with it, and began posting photos and videos of the doll online. That is when she started receiving comments from people who had seen the video, and immediately after viewing it began to have chest pain, nausea, and or crippling headaches. So yes, she can haunt you through a screen. Jayne has come to the conclusion that the doll is possessed by the spirit of a woman who was born in 1946 who died of a chest-related condition like asthma. Now Peggy's picture alone is said to cause anxiety, heart attacks, and headaches. I can't believe Jayne spent a bunch of time with that doll when she could harm her so much. Number 2. Mackie and Amanda. This ghost hunting duo on YouTube is something else. They both have supernatural abilities, and they both just so happen to be able to see and communicate with spirits. Not to mention that both of their houses are haunted. Now they often explore hotels and buildings, but in my opinion one of the craziest videos they've done is when they were investigating Mackie's house. Now Amanda has a stronger ability being a medium than Mackie, and they both felt a presence and heard noises in the house. They communicated with him using their device devices, but then through the conversation, things got weird. Amanda finally realized that the friend they were talking to left, and they were talking to another entity who was pretending to be the friend. Things got even creepier when Amanda looked outside the doors by the porch and saw some sort of demon that freaked the both of them out. Amanda got so scared and said she'd never seen a creature like that before. She then went outside face to face to tell the creature to get off the property and that it wasn't welcome there. After she did that, it left, but she said it was the scariest moment of her life, and it sure does sound like it. And coming in at number 1 is Ghost Adventures. During a Halloween special, the Route 666 episode sees the crew travel to not one but 2 haunted locations: infamous DeSoto Hotel and Goatman's Bridge. First, at the DeSoto Hotel, known for its history of devil-worshipping rituals, the crew gets all sort of unexplainable occurrences, such as loud knocks and audible footsteps, 3 visible apparitions standing together, and one of the X cameras being ripped off the wall. And at Goatman's Bridge, Ashley seems to get possessed by some sort of demonic entity, calling out for it, and then gets audibly assaulted by an unforce, leaving a mark on her head. Zach felt like he was being strangled, and Aaron was thrown nearly 20 feet by something. Along with capturing a pair of free-floating red eyes at the entrance of the forest, Goatman's Bridge became one of the most active locations explored by the Ghost Adventures crew, and is perhaps the scariest. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 paranormal investigators with stories scarier than Ed and Lorraine Warren. Which investigation on our list scares you the most? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're down there. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.